The light of truth has been refracted. Pardon me, I guess you've been distracted. I assumed you didn't see, or else you would have acted. Now all your concerns and dying words will be
redacted.
They snuck the censors in behind your mileage taxes. It's new school tactics put into action by an old school fascist who they portray iconoclastic. So keep the Black Lives Matter off your Twitter banner if you proudly voted for a man who's been a Jim Crow bigot since the end of the Jurassic. Joe wrote all the classics. Joe designed a crime bill with 80-something reasons you deserve a fate that's just the side of gassing. He wrote the book on lechery and passing. Half his works were plagiary, the other half inspired by the Klan's grandmasters. Joe's in bed with all those ancient racist bastards. He's been their golden boy since Thurman walked the earth, and we'll be feeling all the worst of his disasters for fucking centuries beyond the day he finally does the decent thing and fucks fully off to the hereafter. And I hope I've been wrong about religion all along, and the fate awaiting Biden smells of strong sulfuric acid. But knowing Biden, hell may prove to be the more impacted. Betcha this'll be the one that gets
redacted.
The window's closing as you try to let some light in, fighting for
redacted.
And the enemy is silence. Every man's a garbage patch, no man is an island, and there's never been a bigger piece of shit than Joe.
Redacted.
I'm so laid back. Got a cock that's a block, but my skin's not black.
My dong is hard, long and veiny. I'll shoot you in the face like I'm Dick Cheney.
I'm cool, not a fool, stay sweet like Kool-Aid. Kick your ass to the grass, then you need a band-aid. I'm the bomb with your mom, what you want to get laid. Then skeet skeet to the Little Mermaid. Yeah, boy, roast beef, 2000.
What is this for? Roast beef.
Y'all ready for this?
What? Now, just in case you haven't heard, we're the illest MCs to spit the word
from my
like Aunt Jemima. I own the stage, don't act my age. On the list of best rappers on my top of the page.
Roast beefs, don't you know we're the head of the class? Bitch, give us a test, no doubt we'll pass.
Bitch, drink Cristal, smoke some grass.
Bitch, fuck with the beefs, we'll kick your ass.
Bitch, try to stop the beefs, but you can't fight us.
Bitch,
Crush your bones like you got arthritis.
Bitch.
I turn records gold like I'm King Midas. My
Bitch.
rhymes are sick like they got hepatitis.
Bitch,
Chiefs up back, go tell your mom. We were hiding like Saddam, but now we're here and still the bomb. The roast beef's got it going on. Roast beefs up back, go tell your mom. We were hiding like Saddam, but now we're here and still the bomb. The roast beef's got it going on.
Now, Mr. Armstrong, what's your deal? If I reached in your shorts, what would I feel? Like a bicycle with just one wheel. You got one ball like Lucille.
Scarlett Johansson,
Come on, Electra.
Jessica Simpson, I wanna sex you.
come on over, start relaxing.
We'll have a sleepover like Michael Jackson.
Shake your ass and get me harder. I'm the engine and you're the starter.
If you want it in the ass, girl, get some lube. Cause my dick is harder than a Rubik's Cube.
It's B.O.B. on the MIC. I'm the illest rapper you ever did see. But I'm just one of the three. Known worldwide as T.R.B. Roast beefs up back, go tell your mom. We were hiding like Saddam, but now we're here and still the bomb. The roast beef's got it going on. Roast beefs up back, go tell your mom. We were hiding like Saddam, but now we're here and still the bomb. The roast beef's got it going on.
In the immediate aftermath of 9/11, we did some things that were wrong. We did a whole lot of things that were right.
We've taken control of the oil in the Middle East, the oil that we're talking about.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create.
We choose truth over facts.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. Foothills of the Himalayas.
Television. We are fighting Satan himself.
Journalists, ask them the question! Ask them! Ask them! Ask them!
Agreed that everybody wants stay inside. They should. Anyway, my time's up. I'm sorry. America's dead.
It's
Greetings from the Netherlands and Canada, I guess.
Hey everybody. Welcome to another rousing episode of Politically Homeless. I'm your host, Snow Himbo, and this is
Snow Crab, Big Neck Crab. My name
is some guy. I don't know.
Yeah, we're both two dudes, really. I mean, you don't really need to know our names. This is the Politically Homeless show. And
welcome to the Bearded Schizo Hour.
Exactly. Just call it two bearded dudes in glasses. I'm not wearing glasses today, but
yeah, you fucked it up.
Did you know? I want you to know, Max, that did you know that whenever someone says the word Netanyahu, AI automatically detects it as net and a Yahoo? So Restream just resets everything now. Every time you do something new. Is that true? It seems like it.
Yeah, because all the scenes that I went through the pain of creating are now fucking gone.
Yeah,
so
they're all completely gone. 100% gone.
So we're just naked here. We're naked with our wangs out.
Yeah, this is our streaming with our wangs out. So we are not incredibly prepared. Not incredibly, everything's reset. Roll with us here. We're starting out with breaking news now. We got. Well, I mean, this is coming out from this morning. So this is a real Israeli official. So believe as much as you want, but they just happened to coordinate some fighters entering a building. So they just demolished the whole building, and they happened to find a corpse, which was strikingly similar to the Hamas leader Sinwar. Now, DNA proves that it was actually him. They did two so far.
Oh,
So-
now DNA testing's okay.
Yeah, now we use DNA testing. If it's for someone that we really need to like figure it out, but like, the 200,000, all the hundreds of thousands of kids that are dead, we don't need any of that. We don't need to identify any of those bodies. That's okay. This is the important one. They're really proud of their kill, and now they're taunting that around. But just recently, this is breaking. They dropped the drone footage of the drone that killed him. And watch this. This is one of the most like Call of Duty shit I've ever seen. This guy, okay, this Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar. He's about to throw a stick at a drone that's about to his right hand is completely severed. He doesn't have a right hand. And he took with his one hand, he took a stick and threw it at an Israeli drone right before dying. Watch this. He's got no right arm. Look at that. He's got no right arm. He's gonna take a stick and he's gonna throw it. Oof! Got him. Got him.
Went out like a boss.
That's how you go out like Call of Duty. Now, I don't want to reduce this to Call of Duty, but I'm just saying, like...
No, he pulled a gamer move, for sure.
This is a gamer move. Only gamers would do this. Only true gamers would do this. That means Sinwar is a gamer. Go ahead, clip this. Sinwar is a true gamer for this.
He is a true gamer.
Definitely a gamer.
Sure. Notice the difference, though. One side is actually fighting. The other side is hiding behind drones and butchering children.
Another thing this shows is that, at this point, all the Hamas leaders that were responsible for October 7th, they're dead now. That's it. They're all dead.
Yeah. So you would assume, see, a lot of the Ziocox are celebrating this, but what they don't get is that moving forward now,
you have no.
They don't really have none
none
whatsoever. At this point, if they keep proceeding with what they are doing, they are going to have to create additional justifications, because this whole like, we're trying to get Hamas. We're trying to get Hamas. You can't fucking talk about that now. You either have to just basically drop the mask and say, yeah, we're just trying to kill the people and take their land. Sorry. Or you gotta fucking stop.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of mental gymnastics these psychopaths will come up with now. Because, guys, they're not gonna stop. There's a... Greater Israel is in full effect. There's a whole plan behind this.
The plan's coming.
It doesn't end with Hamas just going away and then everybody holds hands and lives in peace. No,
it's
there's
already
a whole
done.
blood-stained empire they're working on.
It's already done. They have a plan coming out tomorrow. This is tomorrow. This is not tomorrow. This is next week. Next Monday, they're gonna have a plan, and there's multiple cabinet members going to preparing to settle Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
So, how much of you like believe this is an accident? I don't really know. I can't really tell. I mean, I don't know if it's on purpose or not. If they're saying that like they just happened to kill him. I don't believe that's 100% the case. The initial reports like kind of like make it seem like Israel killed Sinwar by accident.
Mm-hmm.
This seems kind of, I mean, you can't really see who he is here. He's wearing the fatigues. So, you know, whatever you make of that.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, too much face. Way too much. It's
That's
too
a
close.
lot of face. That's a lot of face.
Way too much face.
Here's some similar, even better news. You're going to really like this. This is related. But hacked billboards to display anti-Semitic messages on a Chicago suburb.
And even
Anti-Semitic.
students after school
Can't
were
wait
met
for
with
this shit.
disturbing messages along the spur just west of Waukegan Road. The digital signs boldly displayed hateful messages about Israel, and police say they were written by a hacker. Those electronic billboards have since gone dark, shut off tonight by billboard company out front. Still, two signs illuminated the expressway for at least an hour, beginning around 5:30. One stated a profanity followed by the word Israel. The second, even more alarming to those who called it in, said death to Israel. In both, a Palestinian flag is used as the background. Congressman Brad Schneider's phone started ringing soon after those messages appeared. He called Northbrook Police and the Billboard Media Company to have them removed.
Where these signs are is a community with a large Jewish population, and tonight is the beginning of the Jewish holiday of Sukkot. Whoever did this had an intentionality about it that was clearly anti-Semitic. It had to be a shock. One of the ones that caught my attention is someone said they had their kids in their car, their little kids in the car, but old enough to read. You know, these are big billboard signs. And how do you explain that to a young person?
This is you know what's so insane
the
by
Jewish United Fund
like,
of Chicago said in part an
the
hour
most
before
insane
sundown, JUF became
aspect
aware
of
of
this.
offensive billboard imagery on
The most insane aspect of this is like they're concerned about their kids like possibly having to explain this to their kids, and the other side is like the kids are burning alive in fucking firebomb buildings. This is unhinged. Also, gee, like maybe
This is just-
MrBeast.
It's incredible. It's honestly incredible.
That's
paid for by MrBeast.
MrBeast LLC.
That is
Gee,
whoever did this,
I don't know, guys. Maybe read the room.
I support this. No, I support this. I
support
100%
this too.
support this.
This is
If you don't
based-
support this, you're not a true comrade.
gamer, you're not a true gamer.
You're not a true gamer unless you're actually supporting this. Sinwar is a gamer. He would support this.
He is a true gamer. He
So
pulled a
guys-
gamer move.
Exactly. If you want to be a true gamer, you have to know the methods of Sinwar, and that's including throwing a stick at an Israeli drone and displaying giant anti-Semitic messages across Chicago. That's how you
They're still
do it.
doing this. They're still doing this anti-Semitism shit. And they're still not realizing the deleterious effects of it. If you guys keep calling any criticism of Israel anti-Semitic in the middle of a genocide that's being cried down by the whole world at this point, then you are basically telling people Judaism and the actions of Israel are synonymous. You are going to create more hatred towards Jewish people. It's going to fucking happen because you're the ones responsible for it. Also, again, can you please read the fucking room? When we're at the point where fuck this country is appearing on giant billboards, maybe it's time to like...
Maybe it's time to like reframe a little bit.
Maybe it's time to go, hey, maybe these guys are doing some shit that isn't really that good. I don't know, maybe?
Let's go back to, I think this country would really do well with a reflection. A little bit of a reflection period. And you know what that's going to do? I mean, now that we're ADHDing, I need to ask you, who do you think is going to, we're 2 weeks away from the election. Who do you think is going to win this?
I'm gonna be honest. I really do think it's a toss-up. If only because like
you have to pick.
It always kind of seems to be a toss-up. Which one would I want to win, or which one do I think will win? Like
you think will win. Like say you can change your mind next week.
I think it okay. So at this very point, it seems the mood is like the media apparatus is steering it towards Trump.
That's what I'm saying.
But before it was heavily steering it towards Kamala. I mean, that debate was fucking atrocious. All of the media apparatus, like the MAGA right-wing apparatus, were panicking.
Yeah, people aren't really convinced that.
And now they're steering it more towards like Trump. And I feel
did you
like
think any of that Kamala hype was real? Well, that was pretty much all manufactured, wasn't it? I mean, I guess I've seen I've seen Kamala supporters in public.
I'm going to be honest, I think the majority of the hype on both sides is manufactured. There's also a whole right-wing fucking apparatus of propaganda that operates as well. I'm sure there's a lot of grassroots Trump supporters, sure, because America's full of a lot of very emotional and desperate people. But I don't really... I'll put it this way, I just keep saying this. I think this election is going to have record low voter turnout. I think there's going to be more people who stay on the fucking couch this election than in any other point in history. Because what are you voting for? First off, either candidate, you're voting for Israel and a genocide. And on top of that, what the fuck are either of these idiots offering? Kamala's offering dog shit. Trump's offering like
fucking down payments on a house if you can afford a house.
Yeah, Trump's offering like
getting debt for the rest of your life.
I'm gonna deport everybody and I don't know.
War with Ukraine forever.
100% tariffs because he doesn't know what a fucking tariff is. Then Kamala Harris is like tax credit for small businesses, so it's like it's great if you're the petite bourgeoisie, I suppose. Like, what are you voting? You're not voting for anything. On either side, there's nothing to fucking vote for. It's like the smallest crumbs off the table, and people are supposed to be energized for this. Neither of these clowns have a plan. They don't. But yeah, as of this moment, I think it's steering in the direction of Trump. I think in the next 2 weeks, we'll see a serious signal as to what direction it'll go. Because you always kind of see signs. Like with Trump and Biden, there was kind of a sign at the end there that it's like, yeah, this is not looking good for Trump. You know, even with Hillary and Trump, there was a bit of a signal towards the very end. There's always like a bit of a primer. Because again, folks, like just in case my position isn't clear, I don't think you.
No, honestly, I hate Trump. I would not want another Trump presidency simply because I don't want to hear these baffled idiots fucking screaming off the top of their heads. I honestly wish they offed him and then swapped him out with someone new rather than Biden. Because then we can Biden himself is a mean cow. But Trump is he's kind of like an odious person, but like on the outside, like everyone loves him. It's kind of like, it's weird. But I mean,
it's essentially like people fall in love. So here's the thing: very insecure people fall in love with like a person that represents everything they don't have. So a lot of Trump supporters, I feel, are deeply like insecure. They don't have a lot of confidence. So they see someone who's outwardly very grandiose in his narcissism, and they think, "I'm going to latch my boat to that guy."
I'm going to be honest with you. So I think I agree with you. I think Trump is going to win this. I'm calling it now, and I just think the way things are headed, I don't think they expected Kamala to perform this poorly. All they needed was a month out of her. They needed a month out of her. They needed her to be on her horse for 1 month and just ride it out to the election and just stay still and just keep it well. for 1 month, and she can't even do that. She had the debate. They gave her the debate, and she can't even hold that up. That's how unlikable she is. Listen to this exchange with a constituent, an American citizen. Listen to this.
Take some calls. Let's take some. Well, not calls. Let's go to the talkback feature.
My question for Kamala is, why are we, and I say we because my tax dollars is sending the money, why are we sending money to other countries when we desperately need it in our own country for homeless, housing, resources, for whatever? That is my determining factor if I vote for Kamala or not.
That's one of the reasons the America First rhetoric resonates, because nobody in America would complain about where money was going if American citizens' everyday needs were being met. So what do you say to that?
We can do it all, and we do.
We don't.
So first of all,
we don't.
No, we don't.
We don't. We don't. We don't.
I will say this much, though.
I think case in point, North Carolina.
I will say this much, though. A lot of people say COVID was like Trump's downfall. Gaza is basically Kamala Harris's COVID. Because if she were to move on this issue, if she were to be like, you know what, fuck this, we're not supporting this, we're going to demand they stop it, I think she would win the election. I think that would be enough of a display of at least like slight faith in listening to the people. But the fact that she virtually has an identical policy to Trump when it comes to supporting Israel is, yeah, I think she's fucked. Like, it's too little too late, and the whole 30 days until an embargo thing, like, shut up.
I think it's over.
I maintain
Might
there
be
are challenges, which is why, for example, we have done the work in the last 4 years of bringing down the cost of prescription medication, whether it be $35 a month for seniors for insulin. Each one of us
It's the insulin prices. That's what's bankrupting the country. Yeah, that's true. That's what it is.
That being said, we also have an obligation to American citizens, obviously, and people who are here.
Obviously. I mean, obviously. It's like she's saying, like, we should never pull ourselves away from our responsibility as a world leader.
That is so unhinged. Holy fuck.
That's the craziest. That's some neocon ass shit that, like, we're just having forever war in Ukraine, forever war in Israel. That's what you're getting. And no one wants that, really. It's literally Hillary Clinton again. Like, she just did her own, like, hot sauce thing twice. So like she's they can't run out another Hillary and think they're gonna win. That's essentially what they're doing, and it's not working. I agree. Trump is much weaker this time. He is much weaker. But you know,
I think he's just old and tired, and
that's what it is. Yeah.
I also don't think, like, I'll say it a million times, I don't think anybody wants to be president for this. I don't think anyone wants to be handed this dumpster fire and to preside over what's probably going to be the collapse of the empire. I don't think Kamala does. I don't think Trump does. I don't think either of these people, because everybody's going to look to them for a solution in a time where there's going to be a lot of really shitty developments. And unless they actually have a plan, both of which I don't think they do, you know, they're going to be remembered for that. And people like Trump, people like Democrats, these people want to be remembered. They care about that. So, I don't know. It's low energy on both sides. Like, really Kamala's, it feels really like they're both trying to throw it. They both feel like they're trying to throw this as hard as humanly possible. Because it's like, it should not be close on either side when everybody's running such a dog shit campaign. It just, I'm sorry. This is like you should be able to just vote, okay, let's have a redo. We're not doing like choose between these two idiots. Find some better people.
So in other news, Zelensky has finally given us a solution for Ukraine. You know that botched peace deal that we had in 2022 that was taken away from Boris Johnson?
Yeah.
That didn't work because that didn't have enough World War III of a flavor to it. We need an actual peace proposal that's gonna really set the standard straight. So what Zelensky did was he went over to the Ukrainian parliament and he said one of his victory plan, which I want you to know, this is not a peace plan, it's a victory plan. This is how they're gonna beat Russia. It's not a peace plan, it's a victory plan. So this is how they're gonna beat Russia. Step 1. Join World War III. That's literally step 1. That's step 1 is to start World War III.
So you could say Zelensky has a final solution.
I guess that's what you can call it. President Volodymyr Zelensky told lawmakers Wednesday that Ukraine's Western partners are increasing pressure to negotiate with Russia, but he hinted at such hostility would be unfavorable to Kiev, so he outlined what would be called a victory plan. He will present the 5-point plan to the European Council on Thursday, but he reiterated that Ukraine is not prepared for a frozen conflict or trade-offs.
Already.
When it comes to this peace plan, it looks more of a list of demands, because when it comes to these 5 points, none of them are broken down, at least in the form that they have been presented by Zelensky. And while it does include such points as applying economic pressure on Russia and, in general, safety and security guarantees for Kiev, arguably the key point there is a streamlined and steadfast inclusion of Ukraine into NATO. And we all understand as to why Kiev wants that, because while it already enjoys formidable support from NATO countries, if Ukraine gets a member status among the military bloc, that would basically mean an obligation and put an obligation on other member states to just fully move troops into Ukraine, send boots on the ground. And this is what Ukraine is counting on. It has been sort of, brushed aside by the United States, which is the most equal among equals when it comes to this military bloc. Have a listen.
We are not at the point right now where the alliance is talking about issuing an invitation in the short term. But as always, we will continue conversations with our friends in Ukraine to talk to them about ways in which they can continue to move closer to this alliance.
Other allies to lift the ban on the use of NATO long-range missiles against
I'm trying to find the source for the 5-point plan laid out.
I think I linked it. Pretty sure. Pretty sure I linked it.
It's from the Russian market, but all right. That's basically what it is. But
this is like the underpants gnome thing. Step 1, steal underpants. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profit. It's like the same thing.
the drug addict? Do they have legit points? Mandatory return of Russian territory. That's not happening. So, point one is invitation to NATO. No diplomat or lawmaker in the European Union is down for that. No one wants this. Not even the United States wants this. So that's how you know this is number 1. Bunk. This is done. 2, the defense of lands and mandatory return of Russian territory. That's not happening. Containing Russia with the store of EU countries, whatever that means. Economic support, more money.
Yeah, because we don't send enough.
Yeah, because we didn't have it. The couple $100 billion that we just sent yesterday wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for them. So you can tell you can tell the United States coke dealer is not doing so hot. Now he's pretty much blackmailing us. He's saying this is more or less him saying that in order to win this quote unquote win, achieve victory quote unquote with Russia quote unquote, is to either A, have nuclear weapons, crazy off the bat, or 2, join NATO, trigger Article 5 and start nuclear war. Like World War III nuclear war.
Чи це працює? Ні, цей документ не працює. Чи працює домовленість?
The agreements of other great partners with Russia work.
Росією? Ні,
No,
не
it
працює.
does not work.
Тобто це не тільки
That is, it was not only the
України,
agreements of Ukraine with Russia, but Ukraine with all partners.
партнерами. Значить,
So in general, all these agreements did not work.
домовленості не спрацювало. Хто з
Who of these great countries, all of their nuclear states, who of these countries suffered?
хто з цих країн постраждав?
All. No one but Ukraine. Who gave nuclear weapons? All. No one. Who? Ukraine. Who's fighting today? Ukraine. And so, it turns out that we have it, and in a conversation with Donald Trump, I told him that we have it. What is the way out? Either Ukraine will have nuclear weapons, and then it's a protection for us, or we should have an alliance. In addition to NATO. Today we do not know and we don't have active alliances. NATO countries are not at war today. NATO countries are not at war. In the NATO countries, all people live. Glory to God. It's literally blackmail. It's like, you guys need to all start World War III in order for us to win.
I feel like they're kind of phasing out this.
I'll finish. 1 second. We chose NATO, not nuclear weapons. And I think that I heard, well, in the case Donald Trump heard,
Мене почув. В даному випадку Дональд Трамп почув, що
that he said that you have fair arguments.
Мені здається, це важливо.
It seems to me that this is important. Zelensky and the Ukrainians seem to be eyeing Donald Trump as their next president. I think they're accepting their fate a little bit, but
maybe they're hoping that they can like TDS trigger people into supporting Ukraine. Maybe he can TDS his way into NATO. But I did want to ask, did Russia not plainly state that Ukraine joining NATO would be like a red line? Because I remember that at one point. Putin himself said something along the lines of, if Ukraine joined NATO, that would be a red line for us. I could be misremembering, but just that's popping off in the old think me.
So yeah.
It's absolutely insane. As if we don't have enough nuclear, as if we don't have enough World War threats at this moment. He's sitting here like, no, don't forget about us. We want to do World War III too. Fucking no. Oh my god.
So, I think we can bang this out in an hour.
Yeah, okay. Let's do it.
Okay. This is the last segment here. I'm gonna read this off. This is incredible. So this conversation happened in August. This is breaking from Politico. This is from today. This came out today or yesterday. Biden envoy told aid groups that Israel too close of an ally for the United States to have an arms embargo. Too close of an ally to stop genocide. We're too good of friends. This conversation apparently happened in late August. Remarks were surprisingly candid. So the top U.S. official working on the humanitarian situation in Gaza told aid groups that in August that the U.S. would not consider withholding weapons from Israel for blocking food and medicine from entering the enclave, a rare omission by someone in the administration. At the August 25 meeting in Washington, Lisa Grande told leaders of more than a dozen aid organizations that the United States could potentially consider other tactics to convince Israel to allow life-saving aid into Gaza, such as applying pressure to the United Nations, but stressed that the administration would continue to support Israel and would not delay or stop weapon shipments. That account is based on conversations with 3 people in a meeting and 2 others that were briefed on it, along with a set of detailed notes from the encounter reviewed by Politico. The people were granted anonymity. Dude, no one's going to pronounce that word. And in order to speak more freely about Grande's assessment because they feared their organization's work might further be interrupted in Gaza. The humanitarian aid official who attended the meeting said Grande noted that Israel is one of tight circle and very few allies that the U.S. will not oppose, nor will it hold anything back that they want.
Jesus.
These are foreign countries. We're completely fucking bankrupted. We're completely bankrupted. We are at the whims of other countries. We have no control.
No. And that's exactly how they try and frame it. That's how they want people to... Listen, this is exactly how they want the public to look at America. They want the public to look at America as completely beholden to Israel. Because that takes the blame away from America's actions. It's kind of like a guilt by association as opposed to direct guilt. Because I'm going to be honest, I think this is all by design.
On Sunday, Blinken and Lloyd, they sent a letter saying that they were going to give Israel 30 days to court, so they'll have a weapons embargo.
Oh boy. 30 whole days. Wow. You guys are really bold. Jesus fuck.
They just killed Stenmore, so. Are they wrapping this one up? I don't know. They might be asking them to wrap this one up before the election. That's what me thinks.
I mean, it's been going on a long time without any kind of wrapping up whatsoever. If anything, I think they might just officially say it's wrapped up and then kind of just squash any.
Well, I mean, they've been going at each other for years, but I mean, there's not really many people in Gaza left. I would say.
I mean, they're definitely pretty fucked at this point.
She was saying the rules don't apply to Israel. None of them do, don't they? Not even our own laws. So they're just not even breaking international laws. Our own Leahy law. We're not allowed to send weapons to a country that is violating humanitarian rights abuses. But we're doing it anyway.
Well, the thing is, they just call it something else. This is how propaganda works in the West. When it's like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that because we all agreed you wouldn't be doing it, they'll just say, well, no, it's not this, it's more this. It's this thing over here, so that means it's okay. There's always a weasel out of it. And they have people who come up with the perfect rhetoric to repackage and reframe objective violations of what we all agreed would be acceptable as a society. You know, the biggest one being Israel's right to defend itself. Defend itself from all those children and mothers and elderly citizens.
The A groups are urging them that, like, Israel has been blocking it the entire time. There's videos upon videos of this.
Mm-hmm.
Then, just the other day, so Blinken was caught last month lying to Congress about having further knowledge of starving kids, starving Gaza, for the sake of Israel, I guess. Committing perjury.
Publica has determined that 2 agencies found that Israel is deliberately stopping humanitarian aid from getting to civilians. And as you well know, the U.S. government says that it has to restrict supplying weapons to a country that does this type of thing. Why have we not done so?
Yeah. So this is actually pretty typical. We had a report to put out on the humanitarian situation in Gaza and what Israel was doing to try to make sure that people got the assistance they needed. And I had different assessments from different parts of the State Department, from other agencies that were involved, like USAID. My job is to sort through them, which I did, draw some conclusions from that, and we put out our report. And we found that Israel needed to do a better job on the humanitarian assistance. We've seen improvements since then. It's still not sufficient.
Mr. Secretary,
this is what I mean. They've always got a way to weasel the fuck out of it. Even when they're asked direct questions, pointing to like, hey, why are we just not doing this thing? And they're like, well, you know, like, we're like working on it, we're checking it out, and like it's not great, but like, there's never a direct answer. But I think this would also be kind of an argument that, you know, the corporate press is also steering the company and the country, same thing, really.
It is a company.
Yeah, they're steering the company in Trump's direction. Because, like, why is the corporate press asking this guy on the news at all about this? They don't have to. This is information they want the public to look at. I feel like it's being steered in Trump's direction right now. I'll be able to confirm in about a week. But yeah. Like, you can always tell when there's an issue that, like, the government is directly lying to the public about. And it's because regardless of any question they're asked, they have a pre-baked in response that doesn't answer the fucking question. We saw that with that atrocious Kamala Harris interview on Fox. It's always like a clever way to evade whatever question's being asked.
Yeah. Their recommendation, just put it in the recommendation. Just put it in the suggestions mailbox. That's what they're saying. Grande said that as long as the international organizations were overseen by COGAT, Israel's government office in charge of overseeing aid disbursement in Gaza, they will have a difficult time changing operations on the ground. COGAT, Grande said, was a mailbox for the IDF, according to the notes from their meeting. It received its instructions from the IDF, the War Cabinet, and the Israeli intelligence branches, each of which had its own requests on how to conduct humanitarian operations in Gaza. Let's trust them, guys. Trust them.
I trust them.
Just put it in the suggestions mailbox. That's what they're saying.
Thank you. They're thanking you for the feedback. Thanks for the feedback. We'll definitely keep that into consideration moving forward. Circling back and tabling for later. Sidebar. Fucking whatever.
We're gonna sidebar that one for a little bit.
We're gonna sidebar it for a little bit.
There's literally an IDF suggestions box. I'm not kidding. That's probably the most absurd part of this article. A spokesperson for Kogart declined to comment. A State Department official was granted anonymity to speak freely from the administration thinking Kodak, and the IDF said are vital partners and integral to the success of humanitarian efforts. So just trust the guys.
But again, guys, the main narrative that we all need to be thinking about right now is they've technically gotten all the Hamas targets. It's mission accomplished. So anything after this point, they're going to either have to come up with some really creative bullshit, or they're going to have to just have the mask of humanity fall completely and just go, yeah, sorry, JK. Yeah, we just want that land, bro. That's it. We just want to kill these people. Because they have nothing to hide behind now. Nothing. Unless they invent, like, new boogeymen, which they're good at, too. The West is great at creating boogeymen. Unless they invent new boogeymen. They don't got shit. They got nothing. So it'll be interesting to see the developments. Goddamn, how close are we to election? 2 weeks?
We're about 2 weeks away. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't even know which one I would prefer as a figurehead mascot. I mean, if you're an adult with a functional brain at this point, you probably know that neither of these people will be running the country. So it comes down to vibes. I don't even know which vibes I would prefer. Because with Kamala, it's like the country is collapsing. Their own flavor. It's choosing chocolate or vanilla. Do you want chocolate or vanilla? There's no strawberry. Not even a strawberry. You can maybe get strawberry to 5%, but you can't. You can't even get any of the flavors in there. You can't get any of them.
It's like piss flavor versus like sweetener and piss flavor. That's it.
No, there's
on one end,
sweetener in there.
On one end, I mean,
it's like it has like perfumes like sprayed on it for like there's like 2 puffs of perfume on it. There's no sweetener. There's one with 2 puffs of perfume on it, so it smells a little bit better when you're taking it in. But the other one is just, they're both piss flavor and they're both like very, like extremely gross.
I think it might be more enjoyable for Trump to be in office, if only because like he's getting around that age and he's kind of like way more unhinged than he was in 2016. So it might be like a continuation of Biden, like just a really more brash like Biden. We might get 4 years of like Meme Cow Part 2. But then Kamala, it would just be like the weirdest like presidential addresses ever. It would just be like soup head every time she talks.
Yeah, she's really annoying. But if you want to stay on top of the Twitch drama, we can head into this for a second, actually.
Sure. Yeah, if you're talking about Asmongold, I saw his.
No, it's not Asmongold, but it's still Hassan.
Okay.
I mean, Ethan's like. I used to really like Ethan too, like back when I was in high school. Whoa!
I never liked him ever. I always thought he was a smarmy little shit.
No, there was a time before 2016. He was like okay.
No, Greg. The difference is you evolved. He didn't.
Maybe that's what it actually is.
It is. Because it's kind of like all of us looking back on Jon Stewart. We all had fond memories.
He's so slimy. Listen to this.
So why is it, that like when Stop Asian Hate that movement happened, when, these terrible hate crimes were happening to Asian people during COVID, of like random acts of violence in New York City and elsewhere, the people like Hassan, excuse me, and left rallied behind them.
He's dying.
Nobody said, well, there is a chance China let it out of a lab. So, maybe the problem is that you need to get a hold of China. Maybe you wouldn't be getting punched in the face if China wasn't locking down its country and whatever. That's what I hear from people like Hassan. So why?
This man compared COVID, like, remember that anti-hate, like the anti-Asian hate stuff, like during COVID? He's comparing that to the anti-Semitism going on right now because of Israel.
I mean, there's so many things.
Shit.
There's so many things wrong with that. I don't know where to fucking start. First of all, China's not like creating a genocide. Second of all, the labs he's referring to were like Western involved labs. So that doesn't fucking work either. Thirdly, there was plenty of anti-China propaganda floating around at that time, just completely outside of COVID. It had already been cooking for a couple years. And the biggest one is the one that like I don't know how people consider this guy like a leftist or whatever. He sounds like a conservative. He's doing the same fucking retired talking point of like, yeah, so like racism towards Chinese people is the same as criticizing Israel. I don't know when it's going to get into their heads that this doesn't work on people. This doesn't fucking work. Because anyone who's not acting in complete bad faith can make the difference between the actions of a state and a whole group of people. Anyone can do that. I'm surprised it's working. I'm surprised it works on conservatives, for fuck's sake, because you would think they wouldn't like that, considering like they wouldn't like to be lumped in the category of like Biden. It's like, oh, if you're criticizing Biden and the Biden administration, that means you're anti-American. Because that's the equivalent of what we're doing. Yeah, Ethan fucking sucks.
Well, I mean, they're just sketchy characters because I feel like they were like placed.
Okay, so here's what's happening today. I'm gonna wait to set it up. The title is correct. So obviously, I'm about to have a really uncomfortable conversation. I'm gonna be factual. I'm gonna be straightforward. It's not personal. I'm gonna be.
Well, no. Consider me your shield, pal.
Yeah, dude. And died? What the fuck? Wait, really?
Wait, what?
That former One Direction star Liam Payne has been found dead at a hotel in Buenos Aires in Argentina. Ex-One Direction singer Liam Payne.
Not sure what that's about.
Yeah, this is
like, oh, you want to make it so Israel isn't a Jewish homeland? Where is my wife who lives with me in Beverly Hills in California? Where's she gonna go? In the garbage? In the toilet? Do you just want to kill her?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she's gonna go where she is now, which is not Israel.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
Ethan's response is, my wife is an American citizen. I'm not worried about her, but 80% of Israelis are born there and literally have nowhere else to go. You better figure that out if you want actually want peace. Do you actually need to figure that out? I don't think you need to figure that out.
No, you don't. But again, they need this whole narrative. They always need heaps of narrative to pile on top. And if you'll notice, all of these scumbags, they want you to talk about anything but Israel's actual fucking actions. They always have to divert it from one place to another.
Like he's making it seem like you can't have a state. You can't have like a state where they both live together. I don't understand.
Or they can just get the fuck out.
Why can't they both live there?
They can just get the fuck out.
Are you so repulsed by Arabs that you literally just cannot have any of them there? You need to have your own ethno state. Nobody else gets an ethno state. No one else gets an ethno state besides you guys. But if you haven't known already, you know that I'm pretty sure Ethan's a Fed. I'm pretty sure he's a Fed.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What did how was your experience in the military?
It was okay. I didn't do anything like I wasn't like a combative role.
Yeah, you weren't a fighter.
I wasn't a fighter, so I didn't have anything like crazy to tell. But I don't know. It's kind of like a mandatory job that you have to go to.
And you don't get paid for.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Is it like a forced vacation?"
No.
No.
It's more like a forced job.
Forced up. Because what did you do? What was your role in the military?
At first, I was given a role that was like in an office somewhat close to my house in Tel Aviv.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like going to a day job in an office. It happened right after there was some kind of a second war in, where was it, in Gaza?
I remember that, yeah.
There was some sort of a small war.
Yeah.
When I was there, and so my job was to, like, when they send officers or like people to go serve, I had to like logistically help with like their hotel or a room, things like that. But it was all on the computer. It just felt like some computer thing.
Right. Okay. So secretary.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it was super boring, and I really hated it. Because it was just like I had to take a bus super early, go there, spend the whole day, go back home. I hated it. So I tried to change my role.
Going crazy.
And it was something like you can apply for it, and it's a form that you fill out, and then they're going to give you something else, completely random. You have
Different
no
position.
idea. Mm-hmm.
Different post.
Yeah.
Different location.
So I decided to do that, and if I don't like the second one, then I'll just find a way to get out of the army.
It was that bad?
Yeah, I just didn't. I hated everything about it. Didn't want to do it. Because if you're doing something that it felt like I wasn't doing anything, like I was just wasting my life.
Yeah.
It could get really frustrating. I don't know.
Right.
And you got to do it for 2 years.
Right.
So I filled out that form and I tried it, and then I somehow ended up in a better place that I liked a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was a daily thing where you go back home every day, and the new one was in a way that was a base that was far from my house. So you go there for the whole week, and then you come back for the weekend.
So you preferred that? Were you gone for a whole week?
I did.
Interesting. Why?
It was kind of like just more of an adventure, more of a different experience that I preferred than to just go to a boring job, sit on the computer and go back home at the end of every day. I don't know.
Were you doing secretary work there?
So, yeah, I was the secretary of the head of the, there's like a, I don't know the terms in English from the army.
Right. He was a officer.
So there was I was in Duchifat, which is like a brigade, I guess, that's in charge of the area of Ramallah. And that brigade has like a main officer. So I was his secretary.
Okay, so you were right below the big boy. Cool.
So it was nice. It was interesting. It was more demanding in a way, but also kind of more rewarding because you're put in this weird situation where you're like, you're away from your house. You have this new group of people that you have to get along with. And it's hard to explain, but for some reason it was more interesting. I enjoyed it more.
You told me once you went on like a mission with them to like a terrorist city.
Yeah.
That was kind of a crazy story.
Yeah,
a terror city.
A terror city.
He calls it a terror city.
Mission with them to like a terrorist city.
Yeah.
That was kind of a crazy story.
Yeah,
What's a terrorist city? You're telling me you have an entire city of terrorists? Does that exist anywhere in the world? An entire city of terrorists? Does that exist anywhere?
To like a terrorist city?
Yeah.
That was kind of a crazy story.
Yeah, my officers and like the soldiers in that brigade, they would go every night on a raid in Ramallah to arrest terrorists. And so I always saw them preparing for it and leaving, and then I would stay in the base. So one time I wanted to go with them just to experience it.
Why? You just were all of a sudden had an urge to go with them?
I just wanted to see what it's like.
Right.
I wanted to see it.
Okay.
So they took me with them one night, even though they weren't supposed to.
Did they armor your ass up?
You're driving in this like Jeep that's bulletproof.
Right.
So I was in the Jeep, and then as soon as we entered Ramallah, the people in the city started shooting us.
Wow.
And I heard like a bullet hit the Jeep like right next to my head.
Did it like dent or just
No, you just hear it.
It's a gnarly armored Jeep. Okay.
And I mean, it was just interesting.
They were so someone actually was shooting the car when you went in there right away.
Yeah.
Huh. Did you have a gun on you?
I didn't.
You were not supposed to leave.
No, yeah, not really. But even if I walked with them to one house.
Okay.
I did get out of the car once, but surrounded with them. So.
Okay. Did they arrest anyone that night?
They did.
Did they bring it in the same car with you?
No.
Oh,
different car. There's a few cars going.
Damn, that's crazy. Was it like? How did you feel? Was it horrifying?
It was strange. Very, very weird.
How so?
I don't know. Just you see people in the house, and then it's like the soldiers just walk into the house and look through their shit and find guns, and the whole thing is really surreal.
God damn.
Yeah. That's it. Want to wrap that one up quickly. I got some stuff to do tonight. So let me clean my apartment. Let me eat some dinner and get going. Thank you guys for checking us out tonight, whoever showed up. We're trying to hit every Tuesday and Thursday with a little bit of something. I got this dog going crazy too.
It wants attention. He's like, notice me, senpai.
Yeah, I know. So I gotta give this dog attention. There's like a lot of stuff to do. Make sure you subscribe to Indie News Network and also us. We have our channels listed in that and everything you can find here in .network. You check out the updated streams, see what's going up new, what's new. And all of our scenes are deleted, so we have to redo everything.
I gotta redo all my Maple files. Shit.
Yeah, I know. It's
garbage.
It's annoying. It's really annoying.
Restream, get it together.
Yeah. We'll be back. We'll